What up, world? Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. You already know what it is. Welcome to Two Gents Fireside Chat. We're talking town business today. We got two heavy hitters from the Pacific Northwest, Nathan Womack of Wax Thematique Records and my brother Lucky Brown. Keep it locked. We'll kick things off when they join. I see you, Johnny. Appreciate you. My brother Luhan in the building. Lucky Brown is in the house. Appreciate everybody on the line.
Oh yeah.
My man, how's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm always good.
You are always good. I'm happy about that. I've just tuned in and I saw already a bunch of people that I'm a fan of in the chat.
I love that. That's that Waxvillain network. Caddy Zach in the building. Appreciate you. So I see you're dressed warm. That's how I was earlier today. I broke out the heavy fleece. I always got the beanie on though.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is in your honor.
Yeah. I love that. What'd you do today?
I did a shift at my cafe. Shout out to Grayson's Port Angeles.
Okay.
I did an extra shift today and got the food ready for the hungry masses.
Love that.
And yeah, it's a wonderful situation. There's a reggae playlist that has been playing since February, and I got to admit it's beginning to influence me.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So I actually just finished picking up my friend Jordan Rain Yogo Man. I recorded a bunch of his drums, and I'm hoping to create some reggae tracks out of that.
I love that. Very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, ska, reggae. You know, my first love was ska music as a kid in jazz band. I'm like, hey, there's music with trumpets in it. You know.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So we'll give it another tick for Nathan to join.
Hey, Gabe.
Very cool. Let's see here. All right. Any plans for the weekend?
Yes. We are having a cider pressing on Sunday, and that is with my sweet, sweet landlady here in Port Angeles. And oh,
there he is. How's it going, Nathan?
Yo, cheers. How are you?
I'm the only one without coffee. I feel like I'm left out. I missed the memo.
Oh, it's water. It's all good. I'm just drinking water.
Okay. But we're all beanied up. I appreciate this. This is great.
This is the way of the villain.
I love it.
Thanks for hosting us, man.
If y'all are ready, I'll go ahead and kick things off.
Let's roll.
Very cool. I want to welcome everybody to Two Gents Fireside Chats. Fireside Chats are similar to interviews, however, they're slightly different. We want to do the research to support and strengthen other existing articles and interviews out there. Got about 7 to 10 questions today, plus the lightning round. Really excited about. I think we're going to go about 35 minutes or so, give or take. Folks, these gentlemen need absolutely no introduction. It's Waxvillain family. They've been staples on my platform all year. We've got Nathan Womack, founder of Wax Thematique Records. You also know him as Paces from Paces Lift and Bend Bounce. That's Quick Trigger. And this gem right here, okay? And in the other tile, oh, he dipped.
You scared him off. You scared him off. You know, he's modest.
That's okay. That's okay. We've got the one and only Joel Rickey, Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington. You all know him as Lucky Brown. We've seen a lot of music released this year from him on Wax Thematique, starting with Lucky Mystery Now Orchestra, lot of people in cool June and early January. And earlier in the month, we were treated to Funkway Series Volume 2, which is Another Mother Part 1 and 2, Soul's Path Ensemble. I could use lots of words to describe Joel's music. However, when I was up late last night doing my thing as I always do, I seem to find this parallel to the Book of Eli. When I think of Lucky's music, I think of the messenger, right? And he's trying to carry the good word, you know, all over the place for anyone that will listen. And when I do consider what his music sounds like, it simply just makes me feel good. I'm honored to have him back for a second time on Waxvillain live stream. Joel, welcome. Happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be with you. I've already enjoyed so much of your programming and so many of your recommendations that it sort of feels surreal to participate. Hey Nathan, welcome back. You had to fill up that water cup, huh?
It crashed out on me. All right.
And during the introduction of all times.
Story of my life.
I told him you were shy.
I'm done. See ya. Yeah.
Guys, I just want to first start off by saying congratulations on the release of Another Mother, Slammin' Double A-Sider, all-star cast on the project. But I'd really like to kind of dial back to what started the Funkway series back in January. Nathan, could you just get everyone up to speed and kind of describe the sound of a lot of people in cool June?
For sure. You know, that record was the one that was one of the first demos Joel sent me, if I remember correctly. And that was the one I knew right away. Okay, this is crazy. This is definitely going to be the first 45 on Wax because it's the best thing I've heard. That is going to fit the format. It's going to do the smaller disc justice. And I mean, right away, the deep funk captured me. You know, it's got Latin horns. It's right up your alley, Villain, because it's 70s soundtrack style. So those elements just grabbed me, and they were like, here's a picture that I'm going to paint for you. And in my mind, I just knew right away, this is the first 45 on Wax, and I'm so excited I finally found it. So from then, we just decided, like, okay, let's do this. How are we going to do this? And Joel's like, I really want to do a series. And I was like, okay, cool. I know exactly the graphic artist we're going to go with, and we just mapped it out from there.
Wow. Very, very cool. Now, Joel, Another Mother was actually recorded in 2010. I'd love to know how this became the second release of the Funkway series, and where were you taking us? Because there is a contrast between the two releases, so I'd love to hear that from you.
Right. These tracks, both of them had yet to find a home until I'd met Nathan. When I started recording them, I always walk into the studio with the thought, if I can get 2 3.5 minute gems out of this entire thing, then I win. You know, and in fact, the gems have been curated by Nathan. These are 2 different sessions, so the 245s represent 2 different sessions. One was recorded in a real studio with Pat Gay, Slang Tang up in Bellingham. Okay. But featuring much of the same cast. And then the second one was recorded in a living room by Jason Gray, in Ollie Klomp's living room, where we've recorded that Mystery Road album right behind your head there. That we did that in Ollie Klomp's living room as well. Yeah. Wow. So there was a lot of precedence for something magical to happen, and you're hearing it when you hear the 45. You're hearing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and tell us the all-star cast that's joined you on this 45.
Yeah. So it was Ollie Klomp's hosting us. So it was Ollie. Jason Gray played the bass and recorded, and then we had Delvon Lamar. Worldwide right now. We had Ben Bloom, of course. Too many projects to name. I mean, he's been my #1 guitar playing partner since 2006, 2007. Wow. Okay. He's on basically everything that I've ever done. And also a super sweet friend, and also very good at helping keeping me in action, you know. Okay. He's recently helped encourage us to start getting some live performances, and we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
just December 9th at the High Dive in Fremont is already on. It's happening. So
I'm so going to be there. That's like in my backyard. I can throw a baseball and hit the building.
Oh, please come. Yes, and bring your baseball. And so that is really thanks to Ben for encouraging me to keep out there, keep up with the live thing. And then we've got Thomas Deacon, famous for playing saxophone beside me with the Mosquito Hawks LP that came out this week or this fall. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we got, I think, Mars on trombone, another partner who I've worked with forever. Great trombonist. He tours with March 4th Marching Band now. Art Brown. Everybody knows Art Brown. If they don't, they need to pay attention because he is one of the most lyrical artists I've ever worked with. He's just a fountain of melody, and all of his melodies are like futuristic. Yeah. He's a huge inspiration to play with, and I'm looking forward to doing more with him down the line.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to envision this, right? All in Ollie's living room, all the instruments. What does it look like, and how do these recording sessions go? I mean, nobody's charging you studio time, so walk us through, what this might look like, what it would feel like.
It's the goal when I walk into this situation is just to try to, because we do this without recording plenty of times. In fact, before iPhones, we would play in a room and make music,
Yeah.
Just being musicians, maybe try out some new tunes, maybe play some old classics, but like doing something with ourselves for ourselves, and so when you're rolling the tape, obviously that does change the dynamic slightly.
Okay.
But fortunately, with these guys, we've been doing it for so long, and I've sneakily had a 4-track rolling in the background so much that it doesn't get noticed as much, and so it really it feels and sounds like a bunch of friends playing together, working on this music, and of course, working together in this room. Like I've said before, it's adjacent to the kitchen, so we've got snacks. Super important to feed your band. So it's a family affair. It really feels like the kind of thing that if you're lucky enough to spend time with any friends, and they just happen to be some of the best musicians that you can possibly know in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. I love that.
So,
I love that. Thank you. So, you have this music recorded. Where does Funkways come from? Why the name Funkways, and what really triggered all this off? What song was it that kind of led this ball rolling? And how did you say, we're going to do a series, and how long it's going to be?
Right. Good question. Well, Funkways, I have to hand it to my wife, Ivy. She actually has a copy of the Folkways series.
Okay.
And so that really, there's the booklet and everything, and I got really deep into the Folkways legend, how these songs were curated from all these disparate sources, and that even in the later times when people would go back and find more of the same sessions, the songs that were compiled on the Folkways series were the gems, the best ones, even after 60 years of digging. And so I was really inspired by that. I had written a song, and I guess I'll be honest, the original title was Funk Life, until I found out that had already been pretty well taken.
Okay.
And so Folkways, it came together. And then the real cherry on top for why we're doing Funkways today, the domain name was available.
I love that. It made sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So funkways.com. Funkways.com is where we put. I post everything that I've done and everything I do, and I try to keep news. I now that we may be starting to do shows, I'll try to put concert announcements up there as well, funkways.com. But really, the Funkways series, that is something that we have to talk to Nathan about.
All right. So go ahead, tell us. How long will this run? What was your idea when you first heard the music? And he said series. What were you thinking?
I thought he was crazy when he said series. I was like, I don't know about that, because we haven't even done a 5 yet, and at that point I felt like we're a little too small. We're a little too lean. I don't know about just banking on a series. But then I heard those 2 songs, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do a series. So, but I know that Joel and I have sort of agreed not to say when it's going to end.
Okay.
And this is all part of a strategy that people will understand when the end happens.
Oh, so, I love this kind of talk. This is exclusive stuff.
Yeah. So there's something else at play that people will pick up on and understand when the story of the 45 series ends, and it was all by design from the beginning. So
whoa.
In true Easter egg fashion, which is what I love, which is what Joel loves, this is why we designed it that way. And we also designed it intentionally from the beginning. So yeah, that's how it's going to play out. And we just want people to be able to jump in whenever they want. But for the people who have been there from the beginning to the end, they're going to get a nice little treat when the story is complete.
Yeah. 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 That's the thing. I need Nathan in my life because I'm averse. I'm brand averse. I don't like brands. I don't like pigeonholes. I don't like being stuck in some kind of an idiom that I built, So that's why you're going to see Lucky Mystery Now Orchestra, Lucky Brown, the Soul's Path Ensemble, the LBs, and on and on and on, because I think that brands are bad for the earth. They're bad for humanity. They're bad for the brain. Okay. What's more interesting is what's good for humanity is something that's constantly evolving, constantly growing, constantly changing and shifting. And of course, when you interface the idea of constant change with the marketplace, which makes sense with things that are solid and like cookie cutter off the factory line, there's a little conflict there. So I'm so fortunate because I promise I will keep doing other ways than just funk ways in my life,
Sure.
But I'm so grateful to have Nathan who can help streamline the thing and put it into a track that then goes to people like you, who appreciate it and get it. So
I love that. Nathan, you guys have been putting out a lot of Lucky records all year. I'd love to know what's one of your favorite tracks from Lucky Brown and why.
It'd have to be Cool June.
I was listening to that earlier. Okay.
I mean, I know maybe it's expected. That's the first one I heard, but it's, the other crazy thing is that, right when we pressed it up is pretty much right when we were introduced to you, Waxvillain, right when we were introduced to Jimmy Soul.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, this was the first time that I started like really talking to Jimmy Soul in the DMs. And then he said, oh, by the way, my name is actually June.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. Like, this is a beautiful thing. But, that song, like, the reason it really caught me was because I've always been music lover first, producer lover first. So it just sounded like something that I would sample. And that's been the whole impetus and inspiration behind the beginning of Wax was like, I want to put out music that I would want to sample because it's like that level of good, So that's why I picked that track. And yeah, I just love it. I never get sick of it. It's never the wrong time to put it on. It just never gets old. There's no use by date with that track.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I remember when Jimmy and I were talking, it was a Saturday. We weren't really doing a live stream. It was just kind of a DM video. And he was so excited when he heard Cool June, like just the idea of a song called Cool June.
Yes.
And we were going to talk about it on 2 grams. So, I mean, that was really special. But also, we didn't hear the B-side until the release. And the
that's
A-side
right.
was great. You know, the B-side was fire too, though. And to me, that's why I started calling it a double A-sider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, of course. Nathan, one thing I want to really highlight on, you mentioned earlier Wax Thematique is lean, but I definitely don't want to overlook this. I want you to talk about the design and kind of that premium quality that I'm always seeing with Wax Thematique records. You know, whether it's the content you provide, whether it's the artwork on the label, but every time I get an LP from you, the box is heavy because it's quality wax. We're getting gatefolds, great artwork. There's no corners cut. Just talk to me a little bit about why that's so important to you.
I mean, that's important to me because every detail of the piece of art should transcend the expectation. I mean, the visual should be, if not as good, but better, like I've said before, than the music itself. But it's also, you really have to meet the artist in the middle. If, you know, the band, the musician, the producer, if they want something really specific and maybe I'm not really feeling it, we have to figure out a way to make both people meet in the middle and make it work to carry the vision forward. Because it can't just be my idea all the time. It can't just be the band person's. I mean, it's really gotta meet in the middle. And man, I just go on gut. Like, we just keep working at stuff and working at stuff. There were a few drafts of Cool June, La People, the first Funkways series, 45. There were a few other art drafts, but they just didn't. They were cool. They were really cool, but I just didn't feel that feeling. You know, I didn't feel like, whoa, what is that? Oh my God, what is that? So, you know, that happens every now and then. Like Tropicoro, you have no idea. There were many different artists, many different versions of what came to be Tropicoro, you know? There's a few, oh my God. If I showed you some of these drafts, you'd be like, I don't understand. But
like, why didn't you use that?
Exactly. It's just all, it's just mainly serendipity, man. That's what I love about it, because when stuff comes out of nowhere, when you feel like it just happens, I mean, that's like life imitating art, art imitating life. And you just get that feeling. It carries through the whole, you know, from the digital file, the music, the tape recording, all the way to the physical product. That's what I love about this the most.
Yeah, exactly. I want to just interject. He's talking about inspiration. He's talking about inspiration. And that's the thing that is the, like, vibe and feeling is more important to me in the studio or in composition than the nuts and bolts, the bones and blood and guts of it. What's more important to me is the spirit of it. And Nathan gets that. So it makes sense for me to be able to entrust my things that have spirit to Nathan, who has spirit in his collaborations, you know, the way he approaches. And yeah, serendipity. You also said that. It's a beautiful thing to see all of these connections and interconnections, and then to weave our own interconnections in together, you know, for the people of the future.
Yeah,
I love that. I just wanted to show the label real quick. This is Funkways 1. Okay, you can see slightly different colors. I think we had like a salmon and maybe a teal green for volume 2. Nathan, are we going to see this label for every 45 in the series? Will it change up by colors? What's kind of your vision for that, if I can ask?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you can definitely ask. All I will say is just stay tuned. You know, there's a theme presented. Small studio that did the art out of France. I mean, Vincent kills it. You have to go to his page. Just go to Small Studio on Instagram. I think it's small_studio. And it's crazy. He just did a basketball court in this neighborhood, and the colors, like when you see it, you're like, oh, that's definitely Funkways style. Like, it just pops. So, you know, I can definitely tell you that a similar vibe will carry through. But like I said, everyone will understand at the very end of the story.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You know, one of the things that I really love Joel, about your music is that raw funk and soul. It's kind of like this at-home feeling, like a good home-cooked meal. And last night I saw you post a picture of, I believe, a snare drum, and you had some things on top of it. I would love it if you could just kind of give us a lens into how you would describe your sound, the mix, and what it is that you're giving us when we put that record on the turntable.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, good question. So what happened last night was I was rehearsing with my wife. She's a rocker. She plays her own music, and I play the drums with her. And we had a buddy who plays bass, and so we had a little practice together. And so I just took a picture of the way I had set the drums up, because that steel bar and that linen from the 1700s is real, and it's really there, and it's part of the way that I dampen the snare sound. But then this book was written in 1915, and it's like a horror novel or something, but it had this wild spider thing. And I was like, oh, it goes with the theme, Halloween. So I had it on there, and then I made a kind of a joking post, but as far as the thing I'm going for, okay, here's the thing you got to know. When I came into recording, when I started coming into recording, it was the 4-tracks were going away, and it was like more digital recording. It was actually, I think, ADAT may have been the first thing I recorded on.
Okay.
And then right after ADAT came like the Pro Tools, and I always had this sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a huge believer in digital technology. I definitely think that it has opened up our world in a way we can't even fathom. But I always could tell there was a sound to that technology. There was a tone or something I couldn't quite put my finger on. And so I started to go backwards. I started to go the opposite direction. The tone was too clean and too pure and too right. Yeah, and yeah, Chris. See, ADATs, and ADATs actually have a nice tone, don't they? There's something about them that the quality. But anyway, I went the opposite direction. I distress my sound. I put it through old equipment and broken things, and I'll try anything I can to distress it. And I like to joke, I'll distress my band as well. Right? Like I'll make them work really long and hard or whatever. And yeah, yes. Oh, there they are. Do they work or what? Did you get them to work?
To be continued.
But no, honestly, I'm still exploring. And I think the biggest thing I can give you or tell you is that people. The biggest thing I can tell you is that the 4-track or the computer that you're using has to be a part of the band. It's an instrument.
Sure.
It's not just a thing that takes the picture for me. It's one of the members of the band.
Yeah.
And so you treat it as such. You give it the same amount of effort that you give all the other guys in the band, or if you play the bass guitar and drums all at the same time, you overdub yourself. The 4-track is one of the instruments.
Yep.
And I could say, if you didn't know, most of the things that I do personally for myself, or a lot of the things that happened, like Mesquite Suite right behind you, or Mystery Road, or even the Space Dream album. Yeah, even that album, all of that came out. All of that was recorded to 4-track cassette. I'll just and I'm a huge believer in that sound and the preamps that live inside those little devices and the democratization of it. It's for everybody. Everyone can do this. Anyone can do it. You don't have to have a big budget. You don't have to have skills. You don't have to have skills,
Yep.
Okay. So I want to dial it in. I want the Cliff Notes version now. Nathan, I need you to describe Lucky Brown in 5 words so that somebody who maybe has never heard his music before would be able to pick it up and understand what they're about to listen to.
I don't know if it's going to translate to, maybe somebody not ever hearing him before, but if I really had to pick 5 words for Joel, it would be a piece of moldable metal. Right? Because metal, he's like, to me, he's metal. On one hand, he's metal. He's structurally intact, but he's moldable. He's he's flexibly fluid. Like, he can go many different ways. I mean, I've heard projects from him that I would never think somebody who's so adept at funk and soul and blues could make, like, you know, these are completely different genres, like completely different. You would never expect. I hope that's not too abstract, but that's just how I think of him. I mean, he is a piece of metal that many other tools are formed out of and formed from.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like a hammer.
No. You know, all of this kind of leads up to one of the questions that I added later on. I want to say it was earlier in the year on Loudswell. LMNO did a live performance, and this was one of the first times that I believe the band had gotten together since the kickoff of the pandemic. And I wanted to show a clip so that everyone viewing could kind of see what I saw that night. But more importantly, I'm hoping that, you know, Joel, you can kind of tell us about the little introduction where you talked about, you know, the breathing and kind of checking in, being present, and then explain what we're going to watch here on the tape or the stream real quick. So.
Yeah, we're in the beginning of the set here. Yeah, man, just listen to that chord. There's like 6 horns.
I mean, I thought
you got 6 horns. You got 6 horns. You gotta make them each play a different note. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's art. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Thank you.
Yeah, I just thought that was so awesome. And again, that was like one of the first times that even as a fan, we were seeing our musicians get together in front of us, even though it was, you know, over the computer. But I was just so amazed at watching you walk around this room. You weren't talking to anybody. You were just using your hands. You had a cowbell at one point. The lights are changing. But this beautiful sound was coming out of that room. And I just want to know more about it and have you kind of elaborate on what you were doing.
Well, first, let me say that that's the Highland Park Improvement Club, which is 100 years old. They've been there as a community-based venue to be able to do anything from serving food to the needy of the neighborhood, to activities, to meetings of all kinds, to yoga. To, you know, I mean, they are there in service of the West Seattle community, and they really embraced me and us, and they recently suffered, or not recently, but a few months ago suffered a fire. After that stream, they actually had a fire, and they need our help. So it's hpic1919.org, if I remember correctly. You can actually give them support directly. It's a really important part of the community, and I mean, there's a lot of love for what they do. It kind of matches my philosophy of putting on live shows. I want to engender cultural community cohesion. You know, I want to bring people of different walks of life together. I want to deliver a message, like it says on the Wax Thematique. I was just reading it this morning. The Wax Thematique website, project a living image of a flourishing, you know, community-based rhythmic project. This is the thing. This is a primal thing that we humans have to have. You know, it's a primal thing, and we've been really largely cut off from it. And I want really badly to bring it back. So HPIC has completely supported me in bringing it to the community, and so I completely support them as well.
Very cool. Very cool. You know, we've got a lot of collectors that are watching, lovers of all different genres of music. I'd love to know, here we are now, you know, almost in November, what are some standout albums you've heard this year? What's exciting you right now? And what are you looking to from some of your other, you know, favorites that are in the industry as well, making music?
Nathan?
Oh, is that for me? Okay. I mean, as far as, you know, this year, I mean, as I know Waxvillain does, I know Joel does, we all listen to music from different eras, different generations. But I mean, focusing on, you know, this year alone, I really listened to a lot of John Carroll Kirby. That LP he put out on Stone's Throw, Septet, crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can't stop listening to that. And I mean that, and there's this other cat, Greg Fote, like is just doing like really, really crazy, like interesting jazz fusion. There's an LP like Gone to the Cats, I think it's called. Those cats I've been listening to a lot. There's also some really amazing stuff coming out of China, specifically like the mainland, out of Beijing. There's this group called Sleeping Dogs, and they are so crazy good, and they're younger cats, and they're doing really, really dope stuff. They have a few things out, and there's only a few, like maybe a handful of songs. They don't even have a full LP out, I don't believe. But that's all going through this Fruity Space Records, Fruity Shop out of Beijing. And I mean, these
you
cats
should link me to that.
They're dope. Yeah, they're super good. And then there's this other producer, Jin's Fake. He's also out of China as well. His LP is crazy. Midnight Soul Drive, amazing.
Ooh, okay.
Super good. I got to give a shout out to Sui Records in Nova Scotia. I had to get the record tracked down from them because I couldn't get it direct from China. So he was like the one dude I could find anywhere that had it, and so I got it from him. And but yeah, Jin's Fake, Sleeping Dogs, those dudes are super crazy fresh. And I think more like on the producer hip hop side of things, I can't get enough of Alchemist. Like still, after all these years, dude has had a complete renaissance since like Russian Roulette. And he's just like, okay, I'm gonna just destroy everybody. And his beats they're just so amazing. They're dark, you know, they're grimy, they're vivid, and then all of a sudden he'll get psychedelic, he'll get rock. I mean, he's just still in his own lane. So that Bo Jackson project he did with Boldy James, I've had on repeat over and over again. But there's a lot of other stuff. But yeah, that's off the top I can think of right now.
That Russian Roulette project was great. I was stoked when that dropped. That's
amazing. And I mean, Israeli Salad, like it should be talked about every day. Like that's a masterpiece. That's a masterpiece. When I heard that, I was like, oh my God.
I sold that record. I wish I didn't.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you have the avocado green?
Yeah.
Did you have that? You had the avocado green? I saw a variant of it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I wish I should have got it when it came out. I never bought it on wax, but amazing, beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I wanted that avocado variant, and so I remember driving to all the silver platters out here, and I actually walked into Easy Street, and there it was, the color variant sitting for like $23, and I'm like, you can't get it for $23 anymore. By the way,
no.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say I'm really excited about this latest batch of 45s that Funk Night Records put out. It's selections off of Sean Lee and Misha Panfilov. Basically, it looks as if they're singles representing some of the albums that have already been released, and also to huge acclaim, like released and sold out. So if Frank, if you're listening, I really would like you to save me a few of those copies of the Misha and Sean Lee 45s. Of course, the Blasics, and also We Jazz Helsinki has really made my mind open up quite wide recently.
That's a great label. Yeah.
Oh, Chris, you sold him your bass. Wow, Chris, you sold him your bass. That's cool. I saw him playing that bass on the internet.
That's wild. Joel, I remember earlier in the year you showed me this. I think it was an LP or maybe a 45. It was pink, and I got really excited. But you said, I don't know if you're ready for this. And the sound was very different. What was that record?
I don't know if I'm ready for it. You know what I mean? It's difficult listening. It's a challenge. It's a challenging recording. Which
I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
What is it? Which one are you talking about?
I think he's talking about this Avon Kang.
Yes.
Avon Kang, the famous violinist from Seattle.
Yes.
Back in the 90s, made a recording, and it's how can we say, it's difficult listening. It's a difficult subject. He was making a statement, as far as I can gather, against imperialism and against killing and murdering innocent people, especially brown people. And this is in the 90s, you know. And I think that the music sounds as challenging as the subject matter. You know what I'm saying? So he talks about in the liner notes. He talks about the killing of indigenous people and the systematic erasure of indigenous people and wisdom, and that's not, you know, not something to dance to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of the chat, and one question I have now is 10 months separate Funkways 1 from 2. What's next for Lucky Brown, Wax Thematique? Are we going to see an LP from Lucky Brown anytime soon? What can we look forward to?
Yeah.
It's funny.
You're saying it all, Nathan. I love it.
I know. It's funny because it's funny because a lot of it's already mapped out. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more. There's a lot more Lucky Brown. I will say that.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot more Lucky Brown. There's going to be more Funkways. As far as the LP, it's definitely something that has been discussed. And yeah, I will just say there's not going to be any shortage of Joel or Funkways or Lucky Brown at any time in the near future.
Wow.
Yeah, if I can just take a little bit of liberty here, it's in motion. The whole collaboration is in motion. So there's a lot of ideas and things, but I have a feeling that Wax Thematique and Lucky Brown, Wax Thematique and Joe Ricci are going to possibly start entering into other types of media collaborations, like something with moving images, perhaps something with utilizing other media. You know, that's kind of where I see our collaboration evolving into. It could be something as basic as Nathan is DJing my show, but you know, it could be something as vast as we put our heads together and actually map out a visual aspect of our musical collaboration. I mean, I think that's okay to let them know that's something that we're hoping to do together.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm excited. You got me at the fact that there's just more music coming from Joel. That's enough for me. So I'm very excited about that. I thank you all for kind of, you know, peeling back the curtain and sharing that with us. It's now time for the lightning round. I believe I've got all new questions because I think Nathan's done like 5 or 6 lightning rounds, and Joel's about to do number 2.
Oh man.
I never did a lightning round.
Okay, well then this is going to be good.
Have I? Okay.
So these are short, one-word responses for the most part. The goal is to answer quick. There's no right or wrong answer. Last 45 or LP you bought?
We Jazz Helsinki box set number 3.
Box set number 3. Okay.
All
What's
right.
that? Barris Manco. Super crazy, dope.
That's
Turkish.
Boris Manco? I have Boris's record.
Oh yeah. Just like
Whoa.
the craziest breaks, you know, just psychedelia, like straight up, no filler. You got it? You got it too?
He's gonna pull his out.
I've got like the 2023 album. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Stone's Throw. Who's Madlib's brother? Oh no.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh no sampled Boris Manco.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I know about Boris.
Okay.
That's crazy. All right. Favorite online source for discovering music?
Waxvillain.
I love that. That's the best answer. That is the best answer.
I'd probably say that as well. Yeah, that and like,
Wow.
it is pretty crazy. All the amazing stuff that you just see on social media alone, like it's kind of crazy. You can't even scratch the surface of it. It's just so accessible and immediate. So yeah, I would agree.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a diamond age, you know. There's so
Yeah.
much beautiful music being created right now.
A new musician you discovered recently.
Oh, it's embarrassing because I think it's somebody I've listened to a lot and not really paid attention to, but John Holt and the Paragons, ska reggae
Okay.
artists. I just recently really just embraced the John Holt catalog, and I'm like, oh, just so much beautiful music and such a beautiful singer and beautiful soul, and I just like, and the production, of course, is so good, and so I think I would definitely say John Holt is somebody who I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to in the coming days, especially because
Okay.
I just, like I said, want to make this ska album.
Love that.
Yep. Yeah. So for me,
All right.
it would be Rope Store.
I didn't get that. Say it again.
Rope Store. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rope Store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Jason.
Yeah, Jason Baldock is this cat out of the UK. Joel introduced me to their stuff, and Rope Store is really dope. It's kind of like this, it's like UK, like hard. It's like rock, but it just has these really cool funk elements. But it leans way heavier on the rock store. There he is, right there. Yeah, buddy, Rope Store music. Yeah, they put out crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And yeah, you may or may not be hearing more from that guy relatively soon. But
shout out to Rope Store Music.
Rope Store is dope. Yeah, Jason Baldock. He's like straight up yet another genius that Joel has introduced me to. This dude's just got a bookcase full of geniuses ready to go at any moment. It's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to take things back to Seattle a bit. I need to know your favorite eatery in Seattle.
Oh, me or Joel? Who do you want to go first?
I don't know.
I'll go. I can.
You first,
go.
Nathan.
Okay. I mean, favorite eatery, I'd have to say like, oh damn, you killing me with only picking one. I'm gonna like hurt somebody's feelings.
I got an answer. Okay. Whatever taco truck Jason Gray has just discovered.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have to say for me it would have to be the Hudson. In Georgetown, because that's just like, that was my spot. Go there. I would go there early in the morning, get just a giant breakfast. You know, the servers are like, they hate you, but they're still really cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're surly. You know, they're surly because they know their food's so good, and they know you're just going to keep coming back. So yeah, just, you know, any server that's surly to me with the amazing food, I'm like, yeah, let's go. But the Hudson all day, the Hudson in Georgetown. I hope they're still open.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite thing to do in the Pacific Northwest?
Make music.
Build a fire. Yeah, build a fire.
Okay, that's a good one. That's very Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, for me, it's make music. Yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Name a Seattle musician everyone should check out.
Ooh. I mean, I feel like most of your listeners are pretty aware of the folks that I would recommend just off the top, but somebody sort of special that's up and coming, perhaps. Jason Cressy and Peter Daniel, who I made the Mesquite Suite with, they just came out with a record of their own. It's under the title Future Not.
Yeah.
And if you like sort of very crisp production and also brilliant lyricism. There's a rapper, lyricist, poet named Mo Betta who they're working with. Who I think Mo Betta definitely should be heard wide and far. And Future Knot and Mo Betta are coming together to create this this project called Future Knot. I recommend people who haven't heard that to listen. And Mo Betta has a whole catalog of his own and a whole project also called Holy Pistola, which is very, very, very good.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, for me, it's Afro Cop all day. That's the one band. That's the one band that everybody, if you're in Seattle, you need to know about them. If you're into anything Wax Thematique has put out, that's it. That's just to give you a little tidbit. That's the whole reason I started Wax Thematique, was because of them. Like seeing them one night in 2013, I thought, like, okay, I wanna start a label, and I want to have them on it.
Wow.
Like, that's how I met Noel Brass Jr. That's how I met Andy Sells, Select Level. So yeah, Afro Cop is no joke. If you ever see them live on a bill, go see them. Go see them and prepare to be blown away.
I love that. That's perfect. Okay. You guys both make music. What's something essential you got to have with you when you're making music? Could be a bottle of water. Could be a snack. Maybe it's anything.
Electricity.
I was gonna say that, but then it doesn't work for my trumpet. I don't need it if I'm playing trumpet. So
you gotta record it somehow.
Right. Yeah. Essential for making music. Positive mental attitude.
That works. That's important. That is important.
Oh, can I just interrupt you guys? Can you just say hello to my mom? She just joined in. Her name's Kathy. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Kathy.
Kathy.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Big shout out there.
Love you, Mom.
Okay.
Thank you for birthing a genius, Kathy.
Yeah.
See, I told you, Mom.
All right, guys, last one. If you had a theme song, what would it be and why?
I was thinking about this, and it changes by the minute, unfortunately.
That's okay.
I'll go. But, I would say for me, it would definitely be DJ Shadow, Building Steam with a Grain of Salt.
Okay. Okay.
That's the one that really like smacked me in my face when I first heard it in like 97 or 98 or whatever. And then it just like painted this picture that I had never seen or heard at all in my life. And then I realized, oh, it was made entirely of samples. And then it just that's what set me on the path to everything that brought me to this moment right here.
Wow. Okay. That's deep.
At this very second in my brain, I'm listening and I'm hearing, stick by me and I'll stick by you.
Okay.
John Holt version. So that's my theme song for this moment.
I love that. I love it. Guys, thank you so much. I know this is your second time on the show, but with more music on the way to come, I hope to have you back. Waxvillain family, it's always great to have a conversation with you, and most importantly, be able to share it with everyone that's viewing so that it can live on for many years to come and be seen by many, many people. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Waxvillain. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Awesome.
Hey, check out my orange variant. All right, I love you, man. Keep up the good work.
Wonderful night. We'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye. Bye, Nate.
Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. We're out. Thanks, everybody.